In this episode, I talk about email newsletters and having all of your eggs in the Instagram basket. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show. My name is Tom Ross, and let's get into it.
This question is from Alda Lilha. Where do I start with email marketing like newsletters? I know I need to stop putting all my eggs into the Instagram basket because my account could easily get deleted. So I thought I'd start with a newsletter, but it seems so overwhelming for me. But maybe I'm just making a big deal of it in my head.
Alda, that is such a fantastic question. I'm so glad to have you on this new daily show. And before I give you an answer, I just wanted to talk about this new format because I'm really excited about this. You've probably seen I've been bouncing around a little bit with the show so far. And as much as I have been enjoying it, you've seen I've done like live call-in Q&A. I've done my honest opening up of some very vulnerable experiences and stories. I've done all kinds of stuff over like 30 weeks, I think it's been now. So the fact I'm now pivoting to 7 days a week, every single day, like a short bite-sized Q&A episode, I think will bring tremendous value to my community. And it's something that I'm really pumped for. And I think in general, I've been talking to Marco, the guy behind the camera, and we want to mix things up with the format. There was a lot I didn't really like, to be honest. If someone was leaving an audio question before, I'd be staring at my phone or laptop and giving the answer to that instead of giving it to all of you guys who are watching me on YouTube right now. So I hope this format is going to be a little bit more spontaneous, a little bit more direct, and I hope Alda, in this case, you get some value from the answer, but I hope everyone listening gets some value as well. But let me know in the comments what you think of this new format. I'm pretty pumped to see where it goes. As I say, Alda, that is a great first question. And I think email newsletters are on a lot of people's mind right now. I think we're all starting to feel the algorithm shift on Instagram, especially creatives, because so many of them live on that platform, right? They have all their eggs in that basket. And I think that's a very dangerous thing of any platform. It's not land that is yours, that you own, so anything can happen. And I predict that what's going to happen with Instagram is that the same thing that went on with Facebook is going to occur. So you go from getting 100% organic reach to 3%, 2%, maybe even 1%. And that killed a lot of businesses and a lot of brands on Facebook. You know, there's people who have just died because they didn't diversify. They didn't own their own thing. They remained on Facebook and just kind of held on for dear life until they went out of business. And I think the same thing is going to happen to a lot of people who are solely reliant on Instagram. So I always advocate spreading yourself around, diversifying, having a newsletter, having a website, being on multiple social profiles, having these different communities and audience. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's inherently lower risk than putting all your eggs in Instagram's basket. So with regards to an email newsletter, I think it's like so many things. Yes, it can be complex, but it can also be very simple. So to give you an example of this, recently I did a kind of sprint where instead of just having it sat on the to-do list for ages, I set up my personal website. And I did it in an hour and 8 minutes. And that included signing up for Squarespace, figuring out their pretty, frankly, horrendous UI, designing it, mocking up a logo, signing up for MailChimp, working out how that platform worked a little bit better, integrating it with Squarespace, pushing it live, and getting my first few email signups. That is like very quick, very basic setup of an email newsletter. On the other hand, you get people that are doing crazy advanced stuff with like segmentation and automation and incredibly technical things behind the scene. And then there's a lot of space in between, right? So I think where people get frozen is they see the people who are killing it in email marketing and doing all of these explosively complex things, and it puts them off from ever starting. And that's a mistake because, as I outlined, you don't want to be the person in 3 years' time who's looking back on Instagram and thinking, damn, like, why did I not pivot? Why did I not try something else? So my answer would be to start. I don't want to give you like the full strategy of the perfect email newsletter at this point. I want you to go sign up for an Aweber or a ConvertKit or a MailChimp or whoever else you're interested in using. Just sign up, get an account, put it on your website, set up a landing page, try and have some kind of cool lead magnet or freebie that is going to resonate and appeal to your audience, and then shout about it. And don't just do it once, but shout about it on an ongoing basis. So don't put out one Instagram post and think, I can sit back now, my work's done, that's my newsletter marketed. It should be something that you're shouting about every week, every single day, that's going to bring your audience value. And so I guess another common objection, because I've been dealing with a lot of this stuff recently, is I don't know what value I can bring. I don't know what to talk about. And again, people get frozen and paralyzed and they never launch a newsletter, which is a huge mistake in my opinion. So start small, start simple. You could do what I do. You could share what's happened in your week and useful lessons that have come of it. You could use it to do a kind of compilation album of what's gone on in the week, where it's like, here's my most popular content and posts from this week. Here's like a roundup of stuff happening in the community. There's 1,000 different ways to skin a newsletter. But as I keep coming back to in this answer, Alda, I would just get in and start. For anyone listening to this who doesn't have a newsletter, the fundamental answer is you should go from not having one to having one. And then like anything else, like Instagram, you're not going to be a rock star that knows all the bells and whistles from day one. You have to figure it out, and you have to be proactive in developing that skill set. When I first jumped on Instagram, I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing shitty posts and I didn't really understand like fully the nuances of the platform. But over months and months and months, I've got to know how to promote on it, how to build community on it, how to DM the right way and network and tag it up and encourage more engagement and all of these little nuances. But they happen piece by piece by piece. So I implore you to do the same thing with your newsletter. Get it out to the world, see what happens, and then go from there. I really hope you found this episode valuable. And today's question of the day, leave it in the comments, is do you have an email newsletter yet? Thanks so much for watching this episode, everyone. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe using the little bell icon below on YouTube. That is the best single way to get notified when I release new daily episodes and try and bring you that daily value. So if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe.